I'm not okay right now. Like, my mental state right now, mentally, I'm just, like, really, like, how do I put this? I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm just very, very, very overwhelmed. But I will be talking about what just happened. So, yeah. So, basically, as you saw, my parents both tweeted that they were leaving the organizations that they were under. Like, my mom was working for Donald Trump in the White House, and my dad was working as an advisor for the Lincoln Project, which is basically Republicans against Donald Trump. That I was at a friend's house having a nice night, and that's how I found out. There was no discussion, no family discussion about this. I was not asked about how I felt about anything. I literally just found out. I found out 20 minutes ago. You all probably found out, earlier than me, sooner than me. But I just, like, here's the thing. Here's what I just said to my parents. I know why they did it, because I did it. There's no coincidence as to why they did it. I tweeted yesterday about my emancipation, and then today they come out with this news that I had no idea of, that was never talked about. My dad is very passionate about the Lincoln Project, and my mom is very passionate about her work in the White House. So it's just, like, for me, it doesn't make any sense, but I understand and I see that there's a coincidence. And they obviously did it to try to stop me from emancipating myself, because I think that it would completely ruin their lives and, like, rock their worlds if I were to emancipate myself, which I still am pushing forward. I still am going to keep fighting. Like, I deserve justice. Like, my whole life I was physically and verbally abused, and that's not okay, and I am going to fight for justice. Wow, there's so many people on here. This is insane. But yeah, so I just kind of wanted to come on here and say that and answer any questions you guys might have, because I only found out 20 minutes ago. Literally 20 minutes ago I found out. I found out, my friend texted me about it. That's how I found out. So what did you find out? Okay, so people who just came, so basically my mom is Kellyanne Conway. She works for Donald Trump, and she just tweeted that she is leaving the White House. And my dad tweeted that he's leaving the Lincoln Project, which is basically Republicans against Trump. So they're leaving their jobs and, like, whatever, which is, like, for me, so I tweeted about my emancipation yesterday, which is kind of just a coincidence, which is really frustrating, because my parents were talking about divorce, and they were supposed to get divorced, but I'm assuming that now they're not, because they're scared of me emancipating myself, which is really unfair, but I guess that's life. So and now their case is going to be a lot stronger against mine, because they left for family reasons. But I can tell you, being their daughter, they don't give a shit. Like, they don't give a shit. My dad doesn't care about me. He's never cared about me. He probably doesn't even know my middle name, which is really sad, but it's true. He never really cared about me my whole life. He always belittled me when I was younger. My dad physically abused me a lot, right here in this very room. And my mom, the same thing with my mom. My mom got me arrested. She's very, very physically abusive, very, very verbally abusive. I've been belittled and badgered my entire life, and I just said this to them. You guys putting on this whole show, they want attention. So, them putting on this whole show of them leaving, I guess, isn't really going to be effective. I think they're just scared that I'm going to emancipate myself, which I am. I'm going to try. Hopefully I will succeed, but the odds against me aren't looking too good right now. But yeah, my Venmo is Claudia Conway. I do have some pro bono lawyers I've been talking to, but I'm gonna, it's just a lot. Yeah. Honestly, like, I honestly think that it's not genuine, in what what they just did. It's not genuine. It's all because they look at my emancipation as a threat. And no, it wasn't talked about with me first. Nothing was talked about me. Nothing was talked about to me. I found out on Twitter, which is really, really sad, but it's the truth. Whereas for me, I've been talking about emancipation for a while now. I've been talking about it for a few years now, and they know that. I actually just got off the phone with my mom, and she was like, I basically told my parents that them leaving their jobs isn't really going to do anything. I'm not going to let it hinder on my efforts, on my legal efforts. It's not going to hinder on my legal efforts. But, yeah. Yeah. So yes, I will be pushing for emancipation. I turned 16 in October, so I'm waiting until then. But so yeah. I took a mental break today, but I figured I had to come on here and talk about this because this is like insane. But here's the thing with my mom leaving the White House. It doesn't matter to me, only because my mom literally has been working under Donald Trump for 4 years. It's been 4 years, and I'm 15. So what? I was 11, maybe. When he was elected, 12, maybe. And, like, my life has been fucked up ever since. It was fucked up before that, but it's been fucked up ever since. I grew up not really having my mom there, which is fine, but, like, for her to just, like, for them to, like, brush it off like it's nothing, it's just, like, really mentally overwhelming for me, and I don't really know how to react right now. Like, I'm very, like, paralyzed in shock. It's kind of just, like, a state of paralysis and shock. Like, I don't even have words. Like, I'm just, like, I don't know. Also, like, this just, like, isn't funny. Like, it's just, like, this isn't a joke. Like, I know I joke about this a lot, but, like, this isn't a joke. Like, my mental health is at an all-time low right now. And, I have all these, I have all these issues because of my parents and what they did to me. So I'm still pushing for emancipation because I deserve justice. I think anyone who's gone through what I've gone through deserves justice because it's not okay. People like this shouldn't be allowed to have kids. They shouldn't be allowed to be one of the most powerful women in the world. My mom should have never had her position in the first place. I think my mom is like a sociopath. If I'm just gonna be honest, like, she has no compassion for my feelings or anything or nothing. Like I said, she got me arrested, and I can say, like, oh, she got me arrested, but there's a whole story behind it, and it's a really fucked up story. It's really, really fucked up. And they can't justify anything they've done to me. Like, they can say sorry all they want, but I'm fighting for justice for myself and justice for anybody else who's gone through the same things as I have. And I know that I have a platform, so that's why I've been talking about this, and that's why I'm so open about talking about the abuse and trauma that I endured, because I think it's so important. Because I know people who, have endured the same abuse and have gone through the same trauma, and I, it's just, like, a lot. Yeah. My siblings don't know, which is really, really unfair, because nothing was ever talked about. None of this was ever talked about with my siblings. I have 2 little sisters. They are 10 and 12 years old, and they don't understand anything. They don't understand why I'm famous. They don't understand my mom's job. They don't understand who my mom works for. They don't understand the Lincoln Project. They don't understand anything, which really sucks. But, when I was my sister's age, they have my mom more than I did when I was their age. I never really had my mom, which is okay. Like, that's fine. But also, my parents were talking about divorce, and they were filing for divorce. My mom was trying to finalize things, but I guess they're putting on this whole show for the publicity in the media. And you know what? I guess this is my life now. Like, I can't do anything about it. Like, I blew up. I blew up, and that wasn't on me. Like, overnight, I had like 300,000 followers, and like, I couldn't do anything about it.